then I tell the guy, I'm like, dude, you can't have him. He's the most precious dog in the world. So, oh shit. Hey, welcome. Another episode of Perfectly Misfit, starring me and Lobo, and look who's joining us, Dan, El Canal de Estradio de Michigan.
Hey,
What's going on,
make
brother? How
sure
are
I,
you?
show off the Michigan hat.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Perfectly Misfit with your favorite people, fucking Renee Encarnacion and my main slither from another blither, Dan motherfucking Webb, aka Webslinger25. Uh, Perfectly Misfits a very interesting. Jesus Christ! Hey,
You muted your mic, but hey, it's cool. We're interesting, is what he said, and then he cut it off because that's funny as fuck. His dog is messing with the cables and shit underneath him. Uh,
yeah, we have
typically,
no objectives.
this is a very dog interrupted podcast. If you don't like dogs, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, this podcast is very non-objective driven. We do whatever the fuck we want every week. Only objective is to have a good time, catch up with each other. If we run out of bullshit to talk about, we cover a couple of main subjects, um, podcasts, movies and television shows, and food. Because Dan and I are a couple of fat. You hear him drinking?
No,
Oh my god,
your mic's
Jesus!
not picking it up.
He's
Either that or I am so fucking deaf. Doesn't matter.
hilarious. So, but yeah, Daniel, what's going on, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. As like a kind of like a new, like a temporary new segment. My son is in 7th
Nope.
grade football, and his team won this past week versus Cedar Springs. We are Greenville Yellow Jackets. We played the Cedar Springs Cockhawks. Red Hawks, I think is their name. I don't really know. They're 7th graders, whatever. But we won 27-6.
No.
Um, my son made a couple of really good tackles for losses, and played an all-out great game. He got obviously held and tackled at the very kind of end, but we were winning by so much it didn't really matter. But like some kid like grabbed him and held him like as he's like trying to tackle him, like held his legs like right in front of one of the refs, and like he would have got a sack. Like it was like a 10-yard sack. Like it would have been a fucking great sack. But this little bastard held him, which I mean whatever. And ref did not blow the whistle, and I'm also the football dad. I'm like the worse than the soccer mom. I'm screaming at the ref, like to a point where like my throat still hurts. This is last night is when the game was. It was supposed to be the night they had scheduling conflicts, so they made it last night, which is good because if it would have been tonight, I would not be able to talk at all. I screamed at the ref. I called him a motherfucker and a bunch of other
Ooh.
things. Lots of F
Ooh.
words. Lots of
Whoa.
F words.
Oh.
And there's like a bunch of kids there, and like it was not a great moment in retrospect, but I don't regret any of it because fuck you, that's my kid. He deserved that play, and you fucked him because you're a fucking bastard. Like, and yeah, dude, I call him a lot of things, and there's like other things too, like that happened in the game. Like, we punted, and the kid that punted, or like we punted to, caught it, and then like fumbled it. Like right away, we recovered the fumble. Right, my team recovered the fumble, but they gave it back to that team. And this was at the beginning of the game, so it was like 0-0 still. And it was like, all right, the refs are biased, and the only flags that were thrown were against my team, my kids' team. So it's like, again, I'm very biased as well, but like bro, like the refs were so biased, and I'm screaming the whole game, and I'm screaming like good job to the kids and shit. But every bad play, I guarantee the whole stadium heard me screaming at the ref and calling him like everything in the book. Not a good dad moment, but I don't take it back at all because fuck that dude. You can't do that, kid. You can't do that shit to these kids because you're teaching them that, hey, you suck, so I'm gonna help you. Like, no, like they suck and they're gonna suck a lot of dick until they fucking get better. Like, you can't do that right now. It's no longer pee wee football. This is competitive. It's seventh grade.
Ooh.
Dude, I get more pumped up for this than a Michigan game, bro. Like, and I yell at my TV a lot during a Michigan game, but I lose my voice every week almost. Like, it's getting insane. Like,
I
I'm
say
not even.
for
I'm
those
not.
who wonder, I don't give a shit about football.
I
Never.
know, not at all. But like, I do. I about lose my goddamn mind every night. I think next year. I know next year we'll have to change when football season. We'll have to change to Thursdays because the games next year go an hour later than what we they do now. But yeah, dude, it's like I said, I'm like the total soccer mom. Like I will fucking scream at everyone, but and I will even like if you walk in front of me too much, I'll tell you to sit your ass down or fucking walk the other way. So I'm trying to watch the goddamn game and not your fucking stupid kid running in front of me the whole fucking time. Like I'm like that. I'm also that person.
I'm
It's
trying to watch
damn
the
near
goddamn
the
game.
same person that yells at you to get off their lawn. Like it is damn near that same person.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
I'm not ashamed of it because fuck you. Like I'm here for my kid, and yeah, maybe your kids are playing too, but sit the fuck down because I haven't gotten up at all. All right, I'm watching my like fuck you. Oh shit! All right, end of ring.
What's great is I actually get to experience this, kid stuff through my friends. So, it's fun to hear your passion.
It's your passion, but it's your
Your-
kid. So like you have a great like it's like your passion, and then times it by a million because now your kid's doing it, and it's like I don't give a fuck about anyone else on that field except for my kid. So like if my kid gets hurt, I'm not gonna be that dad that jumps the gate and goes on the field
But
unless it's a dirty play and that kid goes out of the way and fucking like clips my kid's knee and I'll go out there and jump on the field and kick that kid in the fucking face. No, I'm just kidding.
well, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys see an episode where Dan is no longer our co-host, and I can't
Yeah, when
explain
I'm in
why,
jail for a year, you know why? I kicked some little motherfucker in the face.
little shit.
But no, but I am totally that dad, and I'm a whatever, and I'm not ashamed of it. I feel like that's a good dad. I'm not the Fox News dad, but I'm almost there.
It's been popping up a lot for some reason over the past 3 weeks or so on just random podcasts or on the Bonfire, which is on Sirius XM, where like they keep mentioning that very famous video clip of the dude shooting his kid's molester in the airport.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fucking
That dude's that's a goddamn good dad. Like, well, goddamn good dad. And no one would honestly like if that happened and you had the opportunity. No one who's a great dad or a good dad would not take that same chance because I
yeah, I'm
fucking would
pretty
all
sure
day
that
every day.
I'm pretty sure he got away with it in the end.
He did, yeah. He got
Yeah.
off. He got off scot free. I don't think you could do that this day and age, but I don't care. I'll go to prison for my kids all day, every day. Well, if I go to prison, because I'm a law-abiding citizen to a degree. Like
Yeah, we all
maybe
saw that. We all saw that movie.
yeah, yeah. All right, but to a degree, I am. And then, but you push me past that degree. I got no problem. No problem.
Um, so it's just so everybody knows, Renee's not feeling well once again. Dude, I'm really burning the candle on both ends. But let's get into movies. Have you seen Thor or Doctor Strange since we saw last?
Okay, well, we've talked about Doctor Strange already.
Did
I
we?
don't think we went into complete detail because you haven't watched it. I have not had a chance to watch Thor. Every chance I was gonna have got taken up by some little kid, so I got fucked over. But I
I'll
will. I have no kids this weekend. I will watch it Friday, guaranteed.
I'll I don't know. I'm just gonna go out and say like I wasn't a huge fan. I love this director, you know, it was Taika Waititi, but
Did you like
I don't.
Ragnarok?
I loved Ragnarok. That's probably
So
like
if
my
it's not like Ragnarok at all, like the humor and like there's like such a great mix of humor and action and story.
yeah. No, there is. That's and I'm not gonna say too much as to not fuck it up for you, but it's just
Like I
something.
know
Just
Jane Foster becomes Thor too. Like that's like in the comics.
yeah, and that's all good and all, but like it just it's just a little off, and that's all I
Okay.
said. I said that on Facebook as well. Where it's like it's just like, hmm, I don't know. I don't know. And especially as somebody who loved Ragnarok and loves you know, the director in general. Um I just I don't know, man.
What was his White Rabbit something rabbit movie?
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit, like the
Oh, that was
Hebrew
good.
movie.
That's
Dude,
a really good movie. I
one of
love
the
that.
dude, it's so fucking funny.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
ridiculously funny. Very dark humor.
Yeah.
Very, very dark humor. But like I mean I wouldn't watch I don't know. I think I might let my kids watch it. But it is like seriously one of the most underrated comedy movies since Ragnarok. Like I
Yeah.
think Ragnarok was more of a comedy than it was an action movie. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it had way
Yeah,
more funny.
absolutely. Especially like having Jeff Goldblum as the bad guy.
Yeah, kind of. Like he's not even like the bad guy. He's like he's not even like an antagonist. He's like a side character. Like it, but he's so fucking good. And then when they hit the button on the fucking spaceship that flies him out,
And it
it's
turns
my
the party.
birthday, and it's like the orgy.
Yeah. He's like, wait a minute, this ship is for orgies and like don't touch anything.
Yeah, yeah, dude, it's such a great movie. I still watch that shit, and
Yeah.
I'll watch that shit again most likely this weekend. I am taking Friday off.
I that's a movie I can rewatch and dude, I'm gonna go back to it though. I keep rewatching the last Batman. The Batman?
I've I've seen it 3 times now, and I pick up more and more every time. I've heard like I had like friends of mine that like were big Batman fans that hated it, and I'm like,
Weird.
out of like Michael Keaton Batman is my favorite all the time. Like you can't beat Michael Keaton Batman. All right,
No.
in my opinion, he is Batman. Like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, they were like the Dark Knight was good, not great, not what everybody says it was. It wasn't amazing. Heath Ledger died, so everybody made it way bigger than it was. It was just good.
I disagree. I'm sorry, but I love
This
Dark Knight. Dark Knight
this
brought back Batman
Batman
one.
is, I think, better than all of the Christopher Nolan movies put together. Uh, and I don't, I will, I'll stand on that fucking grave of that or
I don't
whatever.
know, man. Dark Knight was that's a fucking work of art, dude. I mean, like,
Great, it's
especially
great.
like where dude, I remember this scene where I was like, "Up, movie's not over, and I'm gonna go watch this again in the next week in the theater." And it's the
Mhm.
scene where he fucking takes the Batmobile, breaks into the fucking Bat cycle, and then like he literally like drives it up a wall, does a 180, and then just is like, "What's up, bitches?" Dude, I remember being like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna watch this movie fucking again. I'm buying this on DVD."
You know what the biggest problem with this the Batman movie was? Is it came out during COVID, and it came out free on HBO Max, and where it should have been a a massive blockbuster in the
No,
theater, but I am grateful that it came out free on HBO Max because honest, I can't remember Spider-Man: No Way Home. That was the first movie and the only movie I've seen since COVID in the theater. Like, and it like I love you know how much I love Spider-Man, but like it took everything in me to just
wait, you like Spider Man?
what? No.
No,
Um
no.
but so it took everything in me just to go do that. And we're like Batman, I like Batman. I'm a Marvel guy, not necessarily a DC, but I do like Batman. Like I have a lot of respect for Batman. Uh and I've seen most of them in the theater, except for this one. This will be the first Batman I didn't see in theater.
I
I think.
honestly think this one would not have been as successful as a theater release because it was super dark. You know, what I mean,
Very dark.
and like, and I'm not just talking about like the humor and subject matter, but like it was filmed very dark,
Yeah, the
and
lighting in it was super dark.
I felt like that. I don't know. That made it easier to watch. Uh, and here's one thing I'm gonna say that made me crack up. That like when I tell people how much I love this Batman, uh, people are like, "Dude, it's the longest Nirvana music video ever."
Essentially, yeah.
I was like, "God damn it, yeah, they're right."
It
It's
was
such a
so grunt, dude. It was such a grunge fucking movie.
it
It
was
rained the whole goddamn
It
movie.
was the Crow. It was the Crow with Batman. I
Yeah.
mean, which I believe, like was mentioned on certain podcasts. I think called
Dude,
Dud Dude Dude Me something like,
dude, see?
yeah, something like that.
No,
um,
it was fucking amazing. I thought it was great. Um, and I don't, dude. I didn't even recognize Robert Pattinson
yeah,
right away. Uh, I I mean, should he have had like a cleaner cut hair and whatnot instead of like the longer ish like emo look that he had? Probably,
probably.
but with the way the movie was shot and how dark they're trying to make it, I think it went along perfectly. Like, um, the villains in the movie were fan fucking tastic.
I mean, dude, Colin Farrell as the
You had no
Penguin.
idea that was Colin Farrell,
Yeah, no idea it was Colin Farrell or that that was technically the Penguin. Like
right?
it was like it was perfect. I mean, the Riddler,
Like you could guess it was Penguin, but like I mean, plus they also kind of said it beforehand. But you had no idea that was Colin Farrell, like none. I
yeah,
didn't until the credits.
I knew beforehand because I was a nerd looking
Oh,
forward
dude,
to it.
I avoid all spoilers on
Yeah.
any movie I really want to watch.
Oh, I avoided the spoilers, but I mean, once I heard fucking Robert Pattinson, once I heard Twilight Boy was fucking being
Right, right.
casted, I was like, what the fuck else are they doing with this fucking movie?
Yeah, how are they gonna fuck this up more?
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz and fucking
Because
Colin
she's
Farrell.
hot, so like I was totally fine with all of that.
I mean, it's you need a semi good actress, but she's got to be fucking hot to play Catwoman.
Like you have to be hot to be Selena Kyle. No, you're like whatever. Like
I mean, who was that?
Catwoman.
Was it Michelle Pfeiffer? Was the first one? Was it?
Yeah, dude,
Oof.
that's on
Oof.
it. In my opinion, fucking Batman made her career.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
the reason why she was so successful was Batman. Like after that, no one cared about her. I didn't. No, I'm totally joking. She was a great actress and super hot. Like, but if you're playing Catwoman, you have to be hot as fuck. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So,
Yeah, that was
Halle Berry was the worst Catwoman
hey,
by far.
we
But
don't
that
talk
was
about
like
that.
the Catwoman movie itself. She could have been great, but the plot and storyline and everything in that movie was dog shit. But Halle Berry's way hot enough to be Catwoman all day, every day. Even
Yeah.
still to this day, she's still hot as fuck. She was hot as fucking John Wick
Wait,
3.
Halle Berry? Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, but I lost all respect for her after the whole fucking as the Emmys incident. So, yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
We're Oh no, sorry, never mind. I'm confusing black women. Anyway,
They don't all look the same.
the short hair. Like, nope, nope. That's sorry.
Oh
That's
Jesus
not Jada
Christ,
Pinkett. Never mind.
this is my favorite right
Um,
now. I love it when you catch yourself in something and you're like, oh, we
nope.
moved
Yeah.
past it,
Nope.
but no,
Renee's
we're not.
wrong.
We're gonna keep going. What? So what? How did you get them confused?
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker.
Oh shit. Oh, what a great
um.
day.
Uh. I can't remember if I brought up Reservation Dogs and having watched that. Like
I
that was
know
such
we
an
have
easy
talked
watch.
about it, but I don't know that we've talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, that was such an easy watch. Yeah. Hold on a second.
Yeah, no problem. Uh, I have not watched it yet. I've been meaning to. Obviously, there's been lots of really good shit that's come out recently. While Renee is yelling at his dog still. Um, I've been really watching Dahmer. Uh,
Oh, I gotta watch that.
we'll
I have
get
to watch.
into that too, but go back into Reservation Dogs. I was just explaining how I really want to see it. I just haven't yet.
Yeah, it's a like it's like one of those like feel good TV shows where it's like about a bunch of kids and them going through kid shit. And I say kids, I mean like late teens, going almost into their 20s.
Young men stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and young women. It's literally like crew of like boys and girls and yeah, man, I really, really love that show. And then just the added twist on top is fucking Bobby Lee is the local doctor. And in last season, you get to see him really start to his character really starts to blossom. It's fucking hilarious. Where yeah, I don't want
How can you not fucking love Bobby Lee? Like, if you don't love Bobby Lee, you cannot like our podcast.
yeah. Yeah, that's safe. Let's just go ahead and put it out like the whole way. If you don't like Mad TV, if you don't like
Especially like, yeah, like
yeah,
early Mad TV, get the fuck out of here.
yeah, we're not for you. We are not for you.
No, we are like our sense of humor and
And if
love
you
of
don't know
it.
what Mad TV is, maybe you should find out. I mean, Mad TV was a great fucking show growing up in the '90s, man. Late '90s, early 2000s. That was totally underrated.
Very underrated, very underappreciated,
No,
and it was better than Saturday Night Live during that same time.
yeah, yeah.
That's not even a lie. Like, it was like after the fucking Farley era, and Saturday Night Live
Yeah.
started to tank again. Like the very beginnings of Will Ferrell, like before Will actually became funny. So yeah, Matt TV was the shit during that time. So
Sorry, fucking dog is just. He always
no,
acts
dude,
up.
you're good.
Heaven forbid I'm talking to somebody that's not him. He just always acts the fuck.
No, mine are fine. They're just locked in a room right now. So I'm not suggesting I didn't. I'm not saying hey go lock your dog in the room. I'm just saying mine are fine because otherwise they'd be up here jumping on the counter and shit. They're
Yeah.
dude. They've been. I had to lock them up because today they've been on one.
We
Like
we
fucking
famously, folks, famously had an episode that had to be ended about 10 minutes early because one of Dan's newer dogs decided to just take a shit within like 15 feet of him.
a massive shit right in front of me while we're doing the podcast. I like I was like a look like I was like shocked and awe. Like I wasn't like even mad. Like first of all, it was like night 2 of having him. I just had got him from the shelter, and he just takes a big runny dump, like right there, like and right in the peripheral. And I'm
Oh,
like,
shit.
God damn it! And it still hit me right away. It was like putrid, and I'm like, either I can pause this and walk away for 10 minutes. It's gonna take a minute to clean. Like you gotta clean it up, and then you gotta mop, and then like I'm gonna double mop. You know what I mean? Like you gotta get the like Febreze. Like dude, it was way better off ending the show and not stress. But yes, like dogs are 90% of the show. They always interrupt us. We don't give a fuck. That's the way it is. So.
We're 27 minutes in and we're still pretty much introducing the show somehow.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is another one of those really chill episodes where like, if you're listening, great. If you're not, great. Watch it later. And they're just like, "Hey, you guys are rambling about stupid shit right now."
We
Well,
got
you can work while you're doing this or, whatever. Like, "Hey, we're good."
we got a like from my boy LA and from my boy Taco because apparently all my friends have to have nicknames.
Hey, Taco.
Taco is probably one of my favorite, no, actually one of my absolute favorite glass artists. Um, Dude showed up to my birthday and he's always just been a supporter of the shit that I do because I've been supporting his fucking art for a while. But he makes like really dope
Is that
glass.
glass eye?
Yeah, it was a marble, but he was like a
Oh, you do. Oh, glass for
yeah, yeah, yeah. He does bangers and marbles and all sorts of really cool functional art. So shout
Oh
out
yeah.
to Taco Jesus.
Hey, Taco, if you can make some, yellow and blue Michigan stuff, put the Michigan emblem on it, I will buy it, bitch.
It's possible, but he's just not cheap at all. Like it's Taco is let's put it like this. I purchased a bunch of his stuff before it got to the point in his career where he's no longer taking custom orders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like he
I don't know anything about Taco, so my
yeah.
bad.
No, no,
Hey,
no.
big league, don't worry about my shit.
I'm sure he might be able to squeeze us in there somewhere, but he's it shit is not cheap and he's becoming harder and harder to get a hold of because
Oh, good for you,
his shit is
dude.
yeah, his shit is
That's
just that
awesome.
good. Yeah.
Like, no, for real, like straight up, like that's fucking awesome. Good
That's
for
what I
you,
like to
bro.
hear about my homies, man. But yeah,
Yeah, man. Glow up, buddy. Glow up. You muted your mic, and now you're frozen. Oh, now you're back. Your mic is still muted. There you
son
go.
of a
Sexy.
bitch. I gotta really work on getting a new laptop. But yeah, no, I've got like a lot of his pieces. There's another one. Yeah.
So, what are those? Like, I know those
Uh,
two are necklaces, but
so
like,
yeah,
are they
these are some. These
plugs?
are they're pendants. These are called pendants, really.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, no, no. But they can also be used as bangers, or I mean,
It's a banger.
as carb caps for a banger for a dab rig.
What? Okay, but hold on. What's a car? What is
Okay,
this? A
so
plug?
okay, let's easy answer. This is a dab rig for smoking dabs. Okay,
Okay.
this is a banger that goes into this, and you
Okay.
put wax, weed, concentrates into this.
Right. Yep.
Right, heat up the bottom, put the wax in there, but then the carb cap goes on the top to close the circuit.
Okay. Like a
So
plug.
yeah, basically. So then, like when the dab is all heated up and it's boiling, and then you take a hit, You use this to swirl the contents inside the banger around.
Okay,
So carb cap, banger, dab rig.
gotcha.
Yeah.
That's my weed knowledge, people.
Yep. There you go. Well,
That's why the weed episode is going to be very fun.
that
We will pay to promote.
that concludes this week's episode of How to Smoke Marijuana in 2022.
I don't know any of that shit, dude. Like, I don't need. I've seen you do a dab. I think. Have you done a dab on the podcast? Okay.
Yeah.
I know you smoke like out of your bongs and shit, like all the time, and that's fine. Like my weed consumption is like zero. Like every once in a while, I'll do edibles and shit. And
So
then
this is when you see me hit this thing. This is a electric dab rig.
okay,
Yep.
you moved it too fast.
Huh?
You moved it too fast.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what the difference between that is you don't have to hold the fucking flamethrower on it.
Yes, exactly,
Okay.
which is awesome. So this right here, this would be the equivalent of the carb. This is a carb cap.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
the liquid that's in the bigger glass, that's your dab.
No, the liquid is just water. That's called
Oh,
water.
okay.
That's called water.
Sorry. Dude, I suck at all of this shit. I don't know.
So,
I'm like
okay. Yeah,
I'm an alcoholic, not a fucking pothead.
this is an example of what dabs look like,
Okay.
but it's literally just the new form of hash.
I don't
You
even.
know,
I'm not exactly sure what hash is. So, like again, dude, like I'm exposing how retarded I am when it comes to this.
and
You use the R word.
you are retarded. No,
I never
it's
felt like retarded.
so it's literally just the new form of hash, which is a new form of concentrates, where you're just extracting the main part of marijuana, the flower, and just just breaking it down to its most purest form, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're just taking the THC out of it.
Yep.
And so instead of smoking like a joint, you're like smoking, like you're taking all that joint but making it small.
Yeah. Like while a joint, the strongest joint you'll ever find will be like somewhere between 28 and 32% THC. Um, Something like this will be like 60 to 90% THC
Like a whole joint.
in
I
one hit.
have never done in one sitting.
That's
Would
adorable.
fucking kill me.
Give me a second while I check on the dog, make sure he's not doing something stupid.
Yeah, so a whole joint would fucking kill me. Not really, because you can't OD on weed, but no, like I don't get high very well. I've smoked weed plenty of times. I'm a one or two hit and then stay away because like that one or two hit, it gets me in that good zone. Where if I take that third hit, I'm way out of my good zone and I get panic attacks and all this
So,
shit. Like my edibles that I take, they're 10 milligram edibles. I cut them in half, so I get 5, and it's like, so I stopped doing them because
do you remember? Do you remember the dosage Joey Diaz used to take? Oh,
like
speaking of
1,000
which,
milligrams.
yeah, he would go like
I know, but
1,000 and up.
dude, I cut mine in half and did 5, and then I would get panic attacks at 5, so I cut those in half again. So I do 2.5, and it's like the perfect like sleeping milligram for me. Like that put my ass right to sleep. But like I don't know how people like. I mean, obviously you got to build tolerance and all that shit. But like, I don't understand how people can just smoke and smoke and
Dude,
smoke and smoke.
speaking of Uncle Joey, and this will be a good transition. YouTube the other day, like the algorithm just suggested a random old episode of the Church of What's Happening Now, and it was a great suggestion. It was Bobby Lee was on the episode, and this was like
Okay.
back in the in Los Angeles days
Shit.
when Joey's still. This was 2018, right? Fucking great. Like I love the episode. It was awesome. Hold on a second.
I love the church. I miss the church.
Dude. I mean, I run the the Uncle Joey's Joint Facebook page, but nothing compares to the church. Nothing. But before I get too diverted, Joey gets to the plug section right in the middle of the episode, and Bobby Lee plugs all his shit, and then Joey Diaz gives a shout out to his fucking Puerto Rican of the fucking year. You mean, man, Renee fucking Encarnacion, the way he says it. My man, Puerto Rican from the Bronx, Renee Encarnacion. Man, I used to get a lot of shout outs from him, like not to brag, but like it's been so long because he doesn't do that anymore. A lot of fucking haters and shit. People like fuck Renee, blah blah blah. So he just doesn't shout out any of his fans anymore. Like he
Right.
shouts out people who like help him fucking do his shows and shit like that. But he just doesn't shout out randos anymore. I used to get so many fucking shout.
That's awesome. I've always been super jealous of that because I've been a massive Joey fan from Rogan. I learned about him, and
That's where I started.
that's when we talked. We talked about him, and then you're like, "Oh, I know him. We're friends," and I'm like, "Fuck you." And
That was
you remember
and
like me getting like legit mad at you about it, like legit mad because I'm such a fucking fan, and the dude he has one comedy special that's out on, I think it's on Prime right now. That's
might
really
be.
good, but it's not him. It's him, but it's not his like real comedy. And then he has a half-hour special on like the Degenerates, whatever, on Netflix. And he doesn't like it, but I love that.
It was great.
It was great. I thought it
But
was great.
have you
But
ever
the
have you
real
seen him
Joey,
live? Have you seen him live?
no, no, the real Joey, the one I want to see, was the Joey on This Is What's Happening Now. Like if he took all of his parts, he did like 5 or 6 parts on This Is What's Happening Now, or This Is Not Happening. That's what it is.
Yeah.
This is not happening on YouTube. The Ari show. If he took all those parts and compiled them, that's over an hour. That could have been a comedy special right there, and it would have been George Carlin, like a level of comedy.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the only problem with him is those stories are like you'll still hear them. Like if you were to see him, tomorrow, you know, uh, he'll have like half new material, and then he has those classics that he always goes back to, just because
dude,
they're fucking bangers. Those stories are bangers,
I
man.
would love to hear the nun story live.
La
Like I
monja,
want it. I
la
need to
monja,
hear it live.
mama,
Like
la monja me dio, which means the fucking nun hit me.
I need to hear it live. I need to hear his stepfather's stories live. I need to hear his some more of his jail stories and his fucking car salesman stories shit live.
Dude,
Like, bro, he is so fucking funny, and he's like one of those comedians that like hates his own comedy. Like, he doesn't hate it. He just never thinks it's good enough.
yeah,
And he is so fucking good. Like he talks about Richard Pryor and all this other shit, like how they were gods, and like honestly, like he is on that level. But if you don't know, like that this is what or this isn't happening stories, like you would never know, like that he's on the god level. Like he's on the god tier of comedy. He should be doing arenas and shit. Like I would pay. to see him in an arena. Like I'm I'm paying to see Bert. Bert's my like fifth favorite comedian. Joey's number two. I like I paid outrageous money to see Bert. Like I paid less than what I would see Tom Segura, but Tom Segura wants $200 a ticket. I ain't paying $200
Yeah,
a ticket.
that's. I mean, to see Bert here, it's going to be up there as well because Bert keeps coming back and doing Red Rocks, which is like our big, like our second biggest arena, basically, or venue. I don't know. I mean, like we have Ball Arena, which is like where the Denver Nuggets and the Avalanche play, but then also you get people like the Eagles
Right.
or I forget. I'm literally I'm drawing a blank on this one pop star's name, but like you got the biggest acts. Bieber fucking plays at Ball Arena, and
But
but
this is
but
Van Andel Arena. All
that's
the acts
where
you're talking about is what we're talking about. And
fucking
I
Tom
pay,
Tom when he was here last, he did Ball Arena and it sold out like huge amount of money, and to the point where they added an extra night.
uh,
So like
and Tom did that too here, but he did the DeVos place, which is a little bit bigger than the arena,
yeah.
like a little bit bigger, and they could fit more seats in. Uh, so I just looked, and I'm kind of kicking myself. Like I love Bert. Like this is no, like you'll never hear this Bert. I know. Like I'm kicking myself because I'm only paying $10 less a ticket than what I would have to go see Tom, but I have 1,000 times better seats than
I
what I
mean,
would have
and it
had.
is what it is though. Like I actually I couldn't because I was out of town, but going to see Santino record his special a couple weeks ago, it really wasn't that out of price, but it was like $80 to go to a comedy show, which is that's just
But it's
weird.
it's fucking worth it because they're big now. But we
Yeah,
also knew these guys when they were like we started listening to Your Mom's House when Tom was selling, his top tier tickets for $50. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like same with Bert. Like when Bert before his like the podcast went off and then the Two Bears podcast went off and like before Secret Time. Like Secret Time is where his fucking ticket sales started going crazy. Uh, $50. Like that's Joey too. Joey could charge all that shit, but he's for the working man. Like he's like, I'll never charge more than $50 for a ticket.
Yeah, Joey's actually always said that on his show, where it's like he will fight tooth and nail to be like, listen, these motherfuckers got to go get a fucking babysitter. They're gonna drop another $80 on drinks and food at the venue. $30
Yeah,
a piece. $30 a piece. That's it, cocksucker. Like that's
yeah.
that's where that's where we're cutting it off.
I think $30. Yeah, is about
Yeah,
what he
I
said
think he might have said 40 the
forever.
most, but dude, I think I found out after the fact. I think I missed Joey when I was in New York a couple weeks ago. I
Oh
think,
no way.
yeah, I listened to an episode the week, a couple days after I got back, and he had fucking the Flying Jew on, and him and Lee were talking about how they went to some, but I think it was like Caroline's, and Caroline's is like the heart of Times Square, and it is just like douchey, tourist central. Like dude, I've lived in New York City my entire life. I lived there 35 years before I came here to Colorado. I've never been to Caroline's once. Like, and as many famous because I've seen, you
Yeah.
know, those acts, the people who like pop there, they'll pop in somewhere else around New York City, and I'll
Mhm.
go see them somewhere else. But Caroline's is so it's like it's like the Comedy Store, but just a little more, a little just more touristy. I feel like yeah, it's the Comedy Store is a touristy location, but in LA, you're gonna get a lot more comedy fans, at the
Okay, hold
comic
on.
store.
Caroline's, isn't that on the same level as the Cellar in New York?
No, no. I mean, I can't attest to the seller currently, and I can't attest to Caroline's currently. But I'm even just talking about locations, dude. Caroline's is in Times Square.
Okay,
Like
in
the
Manhattan.
yeah, they're both in Manhattan.
Okay,
The cellar is in the like lower. Oh, I'm sorry, the lower west side, and like when you get out of the train by the cellar, that shit is sketchy as fuck, bro. Especially
so
at night. Like literally, when you get out of the train, if you've ever played like basketball video games back in the day when we were younger, there's a very famous
NBA Street,
yeah, maybe that might be on that one, but like there's a very famous basketball court
the
that you can.
Rockefeller.
No, the Rucker
That's
is
the
up.
only one I know.
No, the Rucker is up in
Rockford. So
that's in
thank you.
that's in Harlem. But no, this one is this one's called the Cage, and
Oh,
it's
I've seen a TikTok about that where this
yeah,
Indian dude like kicks this ball to a black dude. He passed that back, and he's out. They're outside on the sidewalk of the cage, and the Indian dude shoots like way outside the three range, like on the sidewalk. Swish in the cage, like in the fucking. It's fucking tits. I need to send that to
yeah.
you,
Well,
but
but
it
what I'm
went
saying though is
viral as
like
fuck.
it's just completely different worlds. Again, Times Square is tourist central. That's where every fucking buddy thinks like that's the place you go to see when you go to New York City and Manhattan. No,
Okay,
no.
so when I stayed in New York for those 3 days, and I was at right across the street from Madison Square Garden, that hotel. I
Okay.
don't. How far away was I from?
From Caroline's about like 10 blocks,
And then Cellar.
about 30 or 20.
All right, like how far of a walk? Like, is it like minute
You can't
wise?
walk to the cellar. I mean, a walk you could do it to be about an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You could
And
definitely
that's
walk. You could have walked to the Carolines for sure
okay.
from MSG, and then but like for instance, I saw every time I saw Joey in New York, was at this venue called the Gotham. And Gotham was a great fucking venue.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost you could almost tell it was like mafioso run. Like yeah, that was
Now Duff's is in Brooklyn, right?
sorry. Yeah, Duff's the bar. Yes,
Okay. I like my one
it's
experience in New
yeah,
York.
it's hard
I
for
always try to
to
compare it, but like
it's hard
it's
to explain to people who have never been to New York who don't also understand the uh what's the word geology like just the
geography.
geography of how yeah, not the rocks structure, the geography of like where things are in
Hey, no one said we were smart people.
now we're perfectly misfit.
Yeah, yeah. Perfectly misfit. We had a low enough IQ to get in the army. What?
Hey, let's
Still better than the Marines, bitches.
uh talk about duty.
Dude, this week, dude, they came out like so early. I want them to keep coming out that early.
Yeah,
I
so
think
what do
it's
you
way better for the ratings. They came out at 8 o'clock on Tuesday, Eastern Standard Time. Uh, I listened. I was more than halfway through the episode before Renee even knew. Uh, because he's a couple hours after me. I hate messaging Renee before he messages me when we're gonna talk at all
because
because I always feel
Dan
like
is
I'm
up at
waking him up.
Dan is up at 6 a.m. every day, guys.
5 a.m. every day,
5 a.m.
and
Excuse me.
it is, and that's fucking 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning for him. And it just yeah, so it's like it sucks 'cause I want to
Wait, I
be like,
thought you were an hour ahead of me.
uh, it's
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 8.
it's 10 here.
Okay.
2. All right, so Idaho's I yeah, all right. Idaho's 3 hours. You're 2.
Yeah.
So, and Idaho's, I only know because I was there recently.
I mean,
Other than that, fuck up.
Dan, we all know Idaho.
I am a hoe. Not anymore. But I used to be prolifically.
But this week's episode was great. I'm loving that the pizza the movie keeps coming back.
Dude, I love Pizza the movie, and I want to hear the whole plot. The
I
fact that
really
this
feel
movie
like
hasn't been made is a
that's a
travesty.
huge missed opportunity by Domino's. I don't know why. Domino's are yeah, no, it screams Domino's.
Pizza Hut.
I
My
would
my whole the whole time in me, it's been Pizza Hut.
I I was gonna say Pizza Hut, but I caught myself and switched over to Domino's because Pizza Hut just lost its fucking
No, Pizza Hut
yeah.
sucks. All right, I'm not saying the movie sucks, but like Pizza Hut would be the one that would get the most cred for the movie. Like
I could have
them. Go
I
ahead.
could have seen this being like a promo during Super Bowl.
Or even
Or
Papa John's, dude. Papa John.
I don't want to say the PJ word, that racist prick.
Oh well, he didn't. He's gone now. He doesn't own it anymore.
Yeah.
Shaq. I think Shaq is the majority owner now. Him or Peyton Manning.
No. I think Shaq is with Little Caesars because he had a Shaq. Didn't he have a Shaq pizza, or was that Papa John's that had Shaq
Papa
pizza?
John's.
Ah.
I know Peyton Manning owns like 56. Papa John's. I think Shaq owns like 100.
Dude, I went to go put in Shaq pizza in Google, and Google tried to finish it with Shaq picks up Kevin Hart.
Hey, I've seen that. It's
Yeah,
in,
that's always
on a comedy roast, isn't it?
I don't remember, but I'm fucking cracking up. Yeah, the Shaqaroni was with Papa John's. That's funny.
Yeah, because Shaq is I think he's the majority owner right now.
It says Shaq has an ownership stake in 9 Atlanta Papa John restaurants. Is a member of the company's board of director and has a new endorsement deal with the brand, and that was in April 2022. That's funny.
Okay. I'm not googling. I'm not googling what I said. I still say he's a majority owner.
No, it looked like he's like at least he's definitely one of the owners. So close enough. We're off the hook.
I know Peyton Manning has a fuckload of them because Peyton Manning was a spokesman while he was still a player, and carried the ball as soon as the racist shit came out from the actual Papa.
Yeah, like get the Christian guy, get the Christian guy.
get the good old boy, put him on SNL again.
All right.
It's either Peyton Manning or fucking what's his name? The 30 Rock guy, Alec Baldwin. We gotta put him on. We gotta save something.
Alec is he's too rough around the edges.
Dude, I've been speaking of SNL. I know, like, I don't watch SNL anymore. Do you?
No, only when like it's like mentioned in the news, or like like whenever someone like you is like, oh,
clips,
dude,
right?
like when there's like a big guest. I'm sorry, what?
You watch the clips, right? Or do you watch the whole show?
Not even anymore. I mean, well, like, you mean in general, or when the ones I want to watch?
The ones you want to watch.
No, I'll watch usually the whole episode and probably more than likely skip through the musical guests because they haven't had anybody on Musically that I've wanted to listen to in like 10 years.
All right, so I went down the rabbit hole recently with the Michael Shea, and I don't know the white dude's name when they do the news report.
Colin Jost.
They make each other say like racist shit the whole time.
Yeah.
And like that's like been going on for years. I watched a 30-minute video clip of them both just saying, because they write each other's jokes, right?
Yeah.
And it was funny as fuck. But Saturday Night Live, no offense, if you like Saturday Night Live, and fuck you if you're Saturday Night Live watching us, you suck.
Yeah. I mean, and just so people know, Michael Che is one of the main writers for SNL.
And
Do you know who
they
Colin
always
Jost's
had good
wife
money.
is?
Who?
Colin Jost is the co-host of Weekend Update.
The white guy.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. His wife is fucking Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. He's a
Fuck
and
that
I
guy
believe
for
if I
life.
remember correctly, he's a Harvard graduate as well.
That makes me
Which,
that
yeah,
makes
I
me
hate him more
believe
too.
that Michael Shea did not write any of the racist shit. I believe he said that all himself. Cancel that motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding. Scarlett Johansson is so goddamn hot. Like,
Top 10 for sure.
dude, top 3 for me. Like, I would pee in her butt tomorrow. And I would get the okay. Like, I'm like, no. Like, even if I didn't get the okay, I would still be like, I'm going. I'm sorry.
Sorry, babe. Sorry,
Yeah.
Nicole.
Elijah Descu is number 1 for me. The new guy,
That's a throwback.
Buffy
Yeah.
the Vampire Slayer.
No,
Like, I
dude,
don't care that she's gotten older.
Jay and Silent
Uh,
Bob Strike Back.
I fucking jerked off to her so much when I was a kid. And no, it's still there. Sorry. I hope you're listening. I know you're not, but I jerked off to you a lot.
Okay. I'm gonna tweet this tomorrow and tag her.
Hey, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Faith. What? But
on
yeah,
that
no.
on that note, let's fucking wrap the fuck up here, man. Thank you everybody for fucking tuning in and supporting and just watching. Hitting the like button it means a lot to us. Goes a long way. It helps the algorithm. I think I got a booger. I hate this. Gross. I'm so sick. I've been sick for like 3 weeks now. The show means a lot to us, and hopefully, maybe you just like it a little bit. That's all we care about. If you like it, just 1% as much as we like doing this, that we appreciate it. If you can like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, that stuff really helps us out. If we ever want to like make $1 off of this, as of right now, I pay to do this show every month. And Dan doesn't give me a single dollar because he's a cheap bitch. So,
Bitch. Every time you ask, I send money. Every
um, but the one thing that's most important to us every week is that you tell somebody that you love them. It's really important to us because Dan and I live lifestyles and come from backgrounds that unfortunately we just lose loved ones left and right, and usually at a moment's notice with no notification, and it really fucking sucks. So hug somebody, tell them you fucking love them. Dan, fucking love your black ass.
I love
Lobo,
you, buddy.
Lobo says he loves you too.
Before we end this thing, I do have to give you a bit of redemption. Um, a long time ago, all right, like one of the first couple episodes of our show, you had gotten an air fryer and you cooked the steak in the air fryer. And I bitched at you and yelled at you and called you many names. Well, homeboy, I know we're going long on this, but I upgraded my air fryer because air fryers got cheap as fuck. I got a 20-quart air fryer.
I think we talked about this last episode, but okay.
I don't think so because did we?
We talked about it, and I'm pretty sure we didn't talk this long on in personal.
But I've been making a lot of shit in it, and I'm sorry, and I love you. That's
If you
all I'm
like
going.
dudes, if you
There's
like
gonna
air
be
fryers,
more.
here's what you do. Please buy one and rate and review.
Subscribe and tell a friend too, and listen
All
to
right,
our shit
fuckers.
podcast because we love you.
That's our way of saying, get rid of your fucking microwave, get an air fryer. It'll actually help you live longer. That's our science fact of the
Keep your
fucking week.
microwave for popcorn. That's it.
Even then, I'd still say just cook that on the fucking cook that
I'm
on the
gonna
stove top.
try. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try it now.
No,
I,
popcorn, you can do that on the stovetop.
I'm gonna try this mic. I'm gonna try fucking air fryer popcorn this weekend. and burn my house down. Thanks for
Sounds
now.
good. We'll see if we survive next week. See y'all
Hey,
later.